Hi. So what we're doing right now is I'm going to show you how we can do unit testing. And specifically, right, we'll be just doing unit testing on this add number function. To do that, we'll click on the test and then select new test. We choose the unit test because this will give us some flexibility. Click create for that. And this is where we will select what are the which code that we want to test. Usually we would test functions that will help us, and then there are other parts we might test like main, but for this exercise we'll do testing on this function. So this really means is to give access to the function. Let's click yes for that. And what we see there's a whole bunch of so-called templates code that has been generated for the purpose of testing. Let's pay attention to over here is the program test.cs. What you can see there will be like a lot of so-called code that has been set up for the unit test. We want to pay attention to this part over here where it has been a test function has been generated to test the function add numbers. But I really like this part because the wizard had helped us to set up the unit test. What I can say is the unit test can be a bit tricky in the sense that you have to set up correctly all the environment, all the so-called what they call as the startup and tear down. Otherwise, you will not be able to run the unit test properly. So all this has been done up somewhat by Visual Studio. Really what we want to do is we want to do the checking or the assertion that when we give some input, the expected, the output, right, will be the one that we expect. And in this case, right, I have the input A, B, and C. I have that if I going to so-called add up all these three numbers, it will give me a zero. That would be reflected when we run the actual. It will get the run the function itself and get the actual output. And this part is where we will need to do the match. Now for this line over here, we will need to delete this line because this line is put up there is some kind of like a sticker that you will need to remove before you can actually start using the particular device or product. So we will remove this and we'll run the test. To run the test, we can click on test and run all tests in solution. So you will see that when you run this test, it actually passed. That is because we are just adding all zeros. Now, let's try to make change the input. Correspondingly, we have to change the expected. But the main thing about testing is usually we will write the unit test such that it will fail, and then we'll write the code to make the code work. But in this case, right, we really done up the code. So we are just trying to show you uh, how the unit test can fail. So let's do the run for this. And it says that it's failed. So why does it actually fail? Is because the assertion that the expected is not the same as actual. Now, if we change the expected to be 1, and if we run the test again, it passed this time. Now, how can this unit test help us to make sure that the code actually work as it is? Now, suppose we make changes to the, the function over here, like we do something like instead of plus, maybe we have externally used a multiplication. We will save this, and then when we run this, let's see what happens. It will fail. Now, why is that the case? It's because you find that the output is even print over here. The actual is 0. So really the unit tests are a very quick indicator that something has occurred on this function. Now imagine you have a lot of function. You will have unit tests for each and every of the function. The slighter change to a function, maybe you have accidentally copy and paste or replace, which is very likely, it will be easily detected when you run all the unit tests. And from there, you might want to do investigation, or you can do debugging to help you understand what have actually gone wrong for the in the function. So the main reason is that you have actually so-called replaced the multiplication wrongly. It should be an addition, but we have used a multiplication. Now, sometimes the unit test may not be able to get this correct. Like for instance, if in the first case, if actually all is 0, you'll find that we're still using a times b, and if you run the unit test, you will still show that it passed because of our syntax. So the only way to overcome this, right, is to have as many iteration as possible, such that you'll be able to. So let me show you. Like we can just simply copy and paste this. We have another set. This is at number test 2, for example, and we have different inputs for that. The key idea is that we have many unit tests on the same function with all the different inputs. Do a run again. This time round, you'll find that the second one has failed as expected. So the key idea is that we have a lot of unit tests on the same function. Each of them possibly is a different use case, and this will help us to flush out some of the all the logical error that we might have in the function. All right, I hope that this video is useful to you. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.